temperature 58. In Santa Monica Basin, winds northwest at 60 knots. Wave height 5 feet in 19 seconds.
Guys, good morning everybody. Hope everyone is having a great start to the morning, my friends. Happy February 7th. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. I did add a new scene. We do have ourselves our camera now, the close-up camera, so we can read the chat here on the side and all kinds of cool stuff. But what's up, everybody? Let's go ahead and see who we got here for today, or this morning. We had Jenny. Jenny stopped by this morning. Don't know if she saw my message though, but we had Jenny this morning. We got ourselves, let's see here, Supercell. We have Tabletop, Quiet Kid. We have Haley. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Let me pull up the stream on my tablet here. That way I can see the chat while I'm looking over this way too. That way it's kind of a nice little panoramic thing. Anyways, what's up, Misty? Hope you're doing good. Hope everything's well with you. Anyways, but we got some new updates here. In terms of storms, there's actually now the potential that we could be seeing maybe even a bit of winter weather included on this upcoming, on this upcoming system here that we've been tracking for the last little bit. So let's go ahead and hop to models. We're going to go ahead and do such right now. Let's go ahead and hop over to the models real quickly, and we'll talk about what's going on here. So we're going to start off with the American model, the GFS model overall. I was actually doing a bit of model reading before I went live today. I was going over the models this morning and looking at the trends and all that stuff. And it actually seems like the models might be picking up on maybe a bit of winter weather concerns. I'm actually going to turn this light off. I have this light on still, so still should be actually a little better. So we're watching out for the potential of maybe a bit of winter weather to be included on this event. Now, this is a little extensive, as you can see. I mean, this is for basically the 12th. We're getting within reasonable time of, forecasting for this particular time being. But it seems like, first of all, the current big thing is the fact that we are seeing ourselves a lot of snow, actually, for a lot of those upper elevations right now that's currently kicking off. Now, when it comes to it, this whole storm system will actually eventually work its way to the east. It's actually going to go a little bit to the northeast, and we're going to get another round that's going to be rolling down here across the south. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But in terms of current time, we have a lot of snow in those upper elevations and all that stuff popping off there. Like I said, we still have that dome of high pressure out there in the central eastern country overall and all that. Now, as we approach our way here to actually later tonight is whenever we're going to start to see the birth of a pretty decent storm system, pretty strong storm. Will start to occur here for tonight. We're expected to see an area of low pressure to develop basically right across the eastern Rockies, out there towards like western Nebraska potentially. And this storm system is going to be relatively, going to the northeast particularly. It's mostly going to be tracking its way here to the northeast overall. So that'll be bringing, the snowfall. There's a little bit of snowfall potential on this. All that moisture we have could ultimately lead to a bit of snowfall, as you guys can see. Maybe for like southern Canada, portions out there by like, the Dakotas, maybe even out there by like Montana, could see maybe a little bit of snowfall. We're still watching the potential of maybe a few storms, a few potential strong to potentially severe storms across portions out in kind of these areas right in here. It's a possibility. We'll talk about that here in a minute overall, but right now that's just kind of what it looks like it's going to happen. Anyways, but then as we approach our way here for the 9th and 10th into the 11th here, we're going to see ourselves a big heap of precipitation piling in across the south here. We're going to get a lot of precipitation coming up for a lot of the south here. A lot of rain could be, or it kind of seems to be the main thing. So a big storm regarding the rainfall could lead to some flooding potentially, if there is enough rainfall. And like I was saying, the models have started talking about the potential of this storm system kind of riding up the coast in a potential nor'easter fashion. And this would be happening here for like the 12th into the 13th, which, like I said, that's reasonable forecasting standard. That's reasonable to forecast at that point. Like I said, I always say this, I don't like going more than 5 days out unless there is like some serious groundbreaking proof between the models, and obviously whenever I see something like that, then of course we'll talk about it. And that's kind of what's been bringing my attention lately, is the models have been kind of trending and saying, hey, after all, there might be a bit of a winter threat included. Now, it's still not for sure. Obviously it's not a good time to get your hopes up and stuff like that, but it's definitely something to keep an eye out there for. And then after that, here for like the 14th, mid-February, we should have a big dome of high pressure across both east and west in the central country, so it should allow to pretty nice conditions for right around the 14th and 15th. But anything past that, it's up in la la land really. So that's what the GFS shows. Now, here's where things get interesting. Like I said, obviously that was the American GFS model, the GFS. We need to start talking about like European, because European model also, first of all, here for like the 11th and 12th, does have that storm system really rocking the south here. Maybe even adding, this model has been a little interesting in terms of adding the potential for winter weather across, like Oklahoma, maybe Texas. But I don't see this on any other model. So right now it's kind of an outcast and it doesn't seem likely. So I wouldn't get your hopes up for that. But what does catch my eye is obviously as the storm system tracks its way here towards the mid-Atlantic, like I said, it's going to kind of turn into a nor'easter fashion. So the models, like the GFS, like we just looked at, was showing that storm system working its way across portions here of the northeast, which could potentially maybe drive a bit of snowfall. And the European model, the ECMWF, the model we're looking at right now, is obviously showing that potential, honestly a little more severe overall. So we'll definitely have to watch that. We'll definitely have to keep an eye out there for the storm system. Obviously they're a little different between each other, The GFS does not show as heavy snow, as you can see. It still has that nor'easter kicking up, maybe a little bit of snowfall across the northeast here. But as of now, European kind of takes it to be the furthest. Now, like I said, both models do support it, so it seems quite probable. And just to put the nail in the coffin here, we're looking at another model, which is the GDPS model, obviously showing that big rain bag across the southeast here. Which obviously could be, first of all, like I said, bringing a lot of flooding potential. I think it could be a thing. What's up, Aiden? Hope you're doing good, man. And also, this model as well also does, as you can see, show that potential of maybe a bit of a snowstorm kicking up there across the northeast there. So all three models, man, GFS, ECMWF, GDPS in this case, all three of some pretty big models do actually end up talking about that potential. And just to look at other models here, here's another model, like the Icon model, just to get an idea on what could happen. I don't think this model goes out as far. Let's see here. It does. Yeah, so you can see Icon also shows this storm system here turning into a potential nor'easter, driving some snow across the northeast. So, it seems like that's kind of the new trend here overall. It's this here CMC model also shows it. So at this point, 5 out of 5 models we looked at, the main models we were looking out there for, we looked at GFS, ECMWF, CMC, ICON, and the GDPS model, which they all do support, that first of all, that big rain system across the south. But as that low tracks to the east, it's actually going to potentially spark off, like I said, all that winter weather potential, maybe across the northeast. So this could be another winter setup for you guys, or actually the first winter setup in quite a little bit. This one does have potential on it, but like I said, it's still kind of early in the forecast for it. I mean, we are still a couple days away, so things are obviously going to be changing, but there's definitely a handful of, like I said, there is definitely still a handful of models that actually all the models we looked at, like I said, that does support this. So it's looking pretty good, the fact that we have all the models on board. Let's see here. But anyways, hope you're doing good, guys. Let's see, Aiden, what's up, dude? I already said hello, but I hope you're doing good, man. Let's see here. Did I already say hi to you, Haley? What's up, Haley? Hope you're doing good. Storm Dakota, what's up? Misty, what's up? Good morning, y'all, and obviously everybody else who's not chatting. Good morning to you guys. But yeah, so it's definitely pretty interesting. Definitely is pretty interesting. Now, when it comes to rainfall, obviously it's a little too far to look out. Obviously at this point it's still, we're talking like 5 days away essentially. So we're still talking, several days out. But just for, giggles, let's just look at the model potential. Yeah, here you go. So this is the blend of models, basically grabbing a bunch of models and blending them together. And I mean, you can see we're talking a pretty good amount of rain. Some areas could see over 3 inches of rainfall. Like I said, this will be taking place here basically between the 11th through the 12th and into the 13th here. So between, actually kind of starting for the 10th actually. When the rain's going to start, and it's going to go through the 11th and into the 12th, and maybe even into portion of the 18th overall. So Tennessee will get hit by this storm system, as you can tell. So Tennessee, obviously, as you can see, we'll go and actually work our way a little more closer to Tennessee here. You will be impacted by the storm here. I mean, obviously, we could see a pretty good amount of rainfall overall across your region. I mean, literally, the entire state of Tennessee in the blend of models right now has you getting about 1 inch of rainfall. But, like I said, at this point, things can still hop around a little bit. The forecast can change, obviously, because, we're still talking for the 11th, sorry, the late 10th is when it kind of really starts kicking off here. So, pretty much about 3 to 5 days. So, 3 days from now to 5 days from now is when the event's going to kick off there. I'm streaming Friday. Okay. Oh, sorry to hear that, Storm Dakota. Let's see here. Yeah, Friday, what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, so Friday I will be live. I'm not sure what for. I'm not sure if there's going to be any coverage or anything like that. I think Friday may need coverage, depending on how things perform, but we'll see. No, Haley, there's no severe weather for your area tomorrow. Let's see. Point is, my name is, you can call me Aiden or Catman. I'll call you assistant. No, Aiden has been my assistant here lately. But anyways, yeah, so like I was saying, though, I mean, this definitely could be bringing a bit of rainfall, too, on it. And like I said, once again, potential of snowfall. Let's actually zoom in a little more for this here. We'll go and hop over to the northeast here overall. Obviously, we're not going to look at snow accumulations in these models yet because it's way too early. But like I said, I mean, all 5 models we looked at, they're starting to they're starting to actually really kind of pick up on this potential here, in which this could be taking the headlines here in the next couple of days overall. I mean, it could start to take the headlines here pretty soon. So wow, okay, so this is the latest GFS. I didn't even pay attention to this here. Really, wow. Latest GFS, as you can see, shows literally a monstrous winter storm impacting the northeast here. Pressure of lower 970s. according to GFS on the latest run. Now remember, that's one run, that's one model, so you know can't take this too seriously. Let's try a European model. Back to the 0 Zulu. The 6 Zulu one doesn't go out as far. So then here's your European model. Yeah, this one keeps it a little more closer to the coast, as you can see, but still that pressure getting down into the 970s out there. So yeah, that's definitely pretty interesting. Yeah, like I said, this is kind of like the new big thing that's going to be popping up here soon. It seems like there's going to be a lot of snow involved here. See, GDPS model. Yeah, so this one doesn't show as much, but it does show that northern extent, you know, clipping a little bit of snowfall. So we'll have to look out there for that as well. Let's see here. So that was GFS. We looked at ECMWF and let's see here, GDPS. We'll try Icon. Yeah, let's pull up the Icon model. I remember the Icon was talking about this too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, so all the models, like I said, all the models we look at there, you know, like we were talking about, all of the models does support that snowstorm. So that's something to obviously keep an eye out there for. Let's see here. What's up, some guy? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. My phone went off. Whenever I said some guy, I thought I said Siri. I'm surprised it didn't go off for that. Gotta love Apple, man. Let's see here. That's a lot of snow. Potentially. Yeah, potentially. Like I said, the models, I mean, they're starting to trend in favor of that nor'easter. You know, it's gonna cause a bit of problems for the oh, that's too far. Let's go back to 06. You know, it's gonna cause a big bit of problems, you know, regarding flooding and potentially, and obviously, you know, regarding winter weather. It's a possibility. Like I said, we're in reasonable time too. I mean, this is only like 138 hours out, which in the forecast line, it's really not too far out to look. So this is, you know, within reasonable time frame of looking in the weather forecasting. And you know, like I said, with that being said, I mean, 5 models out of the 5 we looked at talked about this storm happening. So have I had my morning cup of coffee? I have not, Rail Fan. I have not. But yeah. Oh, you got braces. Oh, yikes. Have fun with those, Catman. Shoot. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop back over here, y'all. We're going to hop over to the southeast now. Like I said, that was the northeast, kind of what we're looking out there for. Let me zoom back to national view. I feel like that might be the best way to do this. And we'll look at the total precipitation out there. Which, I mean, you can see, look at that. Yeah, you know, whenever the system does come through, you can see that the south is going to be accumulating a bit of rainfall. Now, remember, this is the blend of models. You know, this basically takes your average high and your average lows and kind of puts them together. So, obviously, our lowest valued lowest value storms models, I should say, is included in this. So it could bring those accumulations down, and the high ones are kind of brought down. Let's look more specifically at models. You know, let's go ahead and look at it. So GFS kicks through. Wow. Okay, so GFS here shows upwards of about maybe 3 locally to 4 inches, maybe. I'd say more between like right around 2 inches. So that's for like Tennessee, portions out there by Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia potentially as well. So we're talking maybe like 2-3 inches out there according to GFS. ECMWF, which is the European model. Oh, yep, wrong model run. There we go. What's up, John? Hope you're doing good, man. ECMWF here. Let's see. Okay, so it goes through the 13th. Okay, so ECMWF shows actually a bit more, mostly around like 3 to 4 inches, maybe locally higher. Maybe nearly 4 or 5 locally could be possible. You know, honestly, though, it does seem like most of those models, I mean, the GFS and the ECMWF here, the 2 main models, is obviously talking about that potential of a bit of rainfall here. So here's GDPS. This one also shows about maybe 3 inches or so across some of these states down in the southeast. So no, I mean it definitely seems like rainfall is probably going to be right around 2 to 3 inches out of this event for areas down south. Maybe locally 4, absolute worst 5, maybe from what I'm seeing now. And then, like I said, with snowfall and stuff like that, I mean, considering the way that the models have been looking last couple of scans, let's see here. The way the models have been looking like the last couple of scans here, I mean, it looks. I don't know, man. We'll have to see how that plays through. Let's see. But anyways, let's see here. Moon River says woke up to 32 degrees, going up to 63 today. Today, what is this Northwest Georgia? Or wait, today, what is this? Wait, what? I'm taking it as you want to know what's going on in Northwest Georgia from the storm that's coming through. That's kind of what I got out of that. I do think you're going to be in the zone for flooding potential, up in some of those regions there. I mean, you can see how Georgia, let's see, we'll actually zoom in kind of local to Georgia here and look at the models. So here's, like I said, the GFS model, which is the long-range American model here. And this model shows us, depending on where you're at, you said northwest, could be between like 1 and 3 inches, locally 4 possible. According to GFS here, and then of course we have Euro, which is the European model. Once again, that one doesn't go as far out. The Zero Zulu does. That's for the long range European model. And you can see this one as we approach our way between the 10th and the 13th. It should be done by the 13th, and it starts with the 10th. So it's kind of like a 3-day long, or about a 2.5-day long event. And you can see how. Yeah, still mostly 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. I mean, locally, like I said, could break 4 inches, potentially. I mean, that for itself is already agreeing. The GFS and the ECMWF already shows about 2 to 3 inches in the realm of expectancy with, locally higher amounts possible. And, of course, GDPS model, this one doesn't go local to Georgia, but I can still zoom in a little bit to the southeast here, in which... I mean, as the system rolls through, 13th is over. You can see how this one's actually a little bit lower, not as obviously high, not as high as the other models were, like the GFS or the European ECMWF. But this one does show about an inch or 2, maybe locally up to 3, maybe in some spots could potentially happen. Anyways. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on here. I mean, so we'll have to keep an eye out there for it. Anyways. Moving on, let's talk severe weather. Let's talk severe weather potential. So we talked about rain, we talked about snow, and now let's move on to severe weather potential. Now I've been watching a storm system here that it's actually going to be a little concerning. The models have been picking up on this for the last couple of nights. Or the last little bit, I should say. We have 12 Zulu coming through. Oh, it's not even near being done yet. It's only got 3 hours rendered, so that's 11 p.m. is when it goes through. Anyways, let's see, 9 Zulu. This one should be the long range, yeah. So as we track our way down in time, let me note that we're looking at the instability for thunderstorms, or the unstable air. Think of it as the fuel for thunderstorms per se. You can see how we got a little bit of fuel over here, but it's not going to happen because there's something we call a capping inversion, or a cap, or convective inhibition, which is basically, just think of it as like something that's preventing the thunderstorms from happening. Obviously, if I was to go more in depth with it, it's basically a warm layer in the lower atmosphere. As a warm updraft rises, it hits that level and it stops from rising, so the thunderstorm cancels out and dies out. But once it starts to come in these colors without that dashed line, that means the cap's not strong and the storms can happen. And use the instability that's available. Anyways, that's just a little something so you know. But yeah, dude, the models, we have a little short window here for late Thursday. So late tomorrow here, to where we could see the potential out there for, like I said, enough instability and enough winds to actually allow for, the potential out there of maybe some severe storms. Like I said, this will be taking place out there kind of by like eastern Iowa, southwest, central southern Wisconsin, maybe western Illinois could be included as well. So we'll have to watch out there for that. Like I said, the winds on it too, the lower level winds, is actually pretty strong overall. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Is obviously, like I said, we have the energy, we have the fuel for the storms, and not to mention those winds that are over that fuel is going to take the fuel and organize it into a thunderstorm. And we have a lot of strong winds to actually support that. Rapid development, rapid strengthening of some thunderstorms could occur, in which I think there could be severe potential. And, obviously, as you're about to see on the soundings, I wouldn't even rule out tornadoes. A bit of a cold core setup we have going on here too, but I think tornadoes can also be a possibility. Now, let me look at the mid-level atmosphere winds. This is middle ground, but wow, yeah, we got quite the jet stream ripping across these regions too. So the jet stream, the winds are in this case coming from the west, and they're blowing to the northeast, or they're going mostly east, east northeast, and then they turn more to the northeast. But yeah, dude, it's quite a storm system. Yeah, and your low pressure would be somewhere up here. And you know what? That's actually the low pressure system that happens right here. Yep, there it is. That's the low pressure system, which right now it's across the upper elevations. That low pressure system will go up north throughout portions of the northern plains, and then as we carry on, that's it up here. And at this in particular moment being, that's where instability comes together, and that's where the winds come together, and that's where we have the potential. Also, like I said, something that's very important in terms of these events here is looking at dew points, which is basically moisture. We look at moisture at the lower atmosphere, and in this case, I mean, typically for thunderstorms, you want your dew points to be upper 50s at least, usually into the 60s, 70s. Dew points is pretty solid amount of moisture. But there is something we call a cold core setup, which usually has lower dew points for severe weather, and we're talking a bit of a cold core setup here. Dew points are going to be in the lower 50s, which for this event it can make it happen. For this event, it can make it happen. And I want you to look at this. I mean, just look how warm it's going to get here. I mean, this is just going to show you, what we're seeing here. I mean, you can literally see the frontal passage come through. So these are all your warm temperatures, and pay attention back here. That's all your cold air coming down from Canada. You can see how it's, breaking its way to the east here. So all this warm air that's going to be pulling up and, making the atmosphere very moisture-rich and warm. And the cold air is going to be, basically be interacting with that air, with that cooler air coming up from the north. But anyways, so that is, that's kind of what we're looking out there. Let's see here. 80-degree dew points are so rare. Yeah, you ain't going to find them this time of the year, I'll tell you that. I mean, unless you live out there by the equator, and sometimes it's possible. Just for fun's sake, Catman, you made me want to look at it. I don't think there's going to be any dew points out there in the nowhere near the 80s. Let's just do North America at this point. I can't. Hold on, I'm going to have to zoom in. Thank you, Aiden. Appreciate it. Does Atlantic Ocean let me do it? No. Well, shoot. Alright, well, let's just do U.S. view. Yeah, we ain't going to see things even down here. Dew points in the 80s. You still don't think? 70s, yeah. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, it's the 70s. Yeah, that's in La La Land. Anyways, bit off topic there, but yeah, I mean, like I said, you can see it even on the big scale here how things come together. I mean, if you look closely, watch this area here and watch all that moisture get shot up into the country. So watch this closely. So you see all that, the big bag of moisture in the Gulf right here. You can see as we work our way down in time, all that moisture gets launched up into the country, and it gets kicked over to the east by an opposite effect, basically by colder air coming down from the north, the northwest in this case. So cold air is coming down this way, and the warm air is coming up this way. So you see how we have two big differences in the temperatures. You know, we got your warm temperatures coming up from the Gulf, moisture filled too, high humidity. It's high humidity, moisture, high humidity and some heat coming up here, and then cooler conditions as well as lower humidity and not much moisture. Like I said, in terms of thermodynamics and also in terms of hydro, between moisture and your thermos, between moisture content and your thermodynamics, there is literally a polar opposite. So that's just going to create that instability or that potential energy or essentially the fuel for that severe weather potential out there. But yeah, man, I really wanted to talk about that and show you guys what was going on. So once again, just a real quick recap and a simplified version for you guys. As you can see here, as we approach our way into late Thursday, there's going to be an open window for a decent amount of instability, a decent amount of fuel for thunderstorms that will be in place potentially across portions out there in southwestern Wisconsin, maybe central southern Wisconsin, western Illinois, eastern Iowa, and maybe even southeastern portions here of Minnesota as well. So there's going to be that open window where there's going to be potential for a few strong to potentially severe storms. This is what we call supercell composite, which basically kind of mixes your kinematics and your thermodynamics together. I know those are some big words. You probably know what thermodynamics are. Kinematics is basically, in this case, winds. Usually it's a movement of a vector, essentially. In which obviously, in this case, we're seeing those winds. They're actually moving pretty quickly. The winds at this point, while we have this big pool of instability, the winds are going to be moving pretty quickly as well. So that's definitely, that's that. My science teacher said how we were going to learn about thermodynamics. Can't wait. Nice. Dude, anytime, back when I was in high school, dude, I was in Earth Science was a class name. It was called Earth Science, and whenever we went in the meteorology unit, dude, I freaking flipped out. And I told you what, dude, I was actually even teaching the teacher stuff. I was actually even teaching the teacher things, because at that point, I mean, I've been studying weather, dude, for probably well over 5 years at this point. I'd say probably at least 7-8 years I've been studying meteorology, and at the time in high school, I was taking classes and stuff for meteorology and all that stuff, and just some like online classes, nothing too serious at the time, and whenever I started experiencing like severe weather events, and whenever I did storm chasing, and whenever I went chasing back there in like 2018 and stuff, where I really started growing my my knowledge, expanding my knowledge in the field. We went in the meteorology unit, and everything was such a breeze for me. I literally passed what they 100% for the whole entire unit. The teacher thought I was literally cheating. She thought I was cheating, but I told her, and I showed her some of the stuff I did, and she instantly knew that I was not cheating after that. That's kind of a fun story for you guys. She thought I was cheating because I got 100%, and I never got 100% on any exams or any units in general. But meteorology I did, and I did get 100. So she was assuming I was cheating, but I showed her what I've learned, and she's even learned a bit from what I had to say, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's just kind of a little bit of a story for you guys. I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, that took place back in freshman year. That was, that was probably like 2016 actually. 2016 when that was. Now that I think about it, yeah, 2016. So 8 years ago. Wow. So wait a minute. I've been doing this over a decade now. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. That just really hit me how fast time's gone. Anyways, all right. Let's see. Welcome to Andrew's learning stream. I try to keep it entertaining because not everybody wants to learn. everybody who comes in here just wants a weather update and doesn't want a whole breakdown, or some people do, obviously, but not everybody wants to hear, everything that's going on in the storm to cause it that way. They just want to know a quick little update, which I hear you, man. And that's what I was saying, for the quick little update here. Like I said, we're seeing a little window out there for potential of severe weather. The fuel for the thunderstorms gets cranking here late Thursday, possibly across Iowa, like I said, eastern Iowa, maybe even portions like western Illinois, central southern Wisconsin. And also, here's the HRRR model. That was the RAP model. Here's HRRR, which is much more higher resolution, as you guys can tell, much more in detail with the instability, but also does show that window of pretty modest, I'd call it, modest instability out there for kind of the afternoon, evening of Thursday, which, definitely is a little interesting. Now, this model doesn't really show the wind shear. There's no wind viewing on this, but there is something we call relative helicity, which basically is measuring updraft rotation potential in the lower atmosphere. And in this case, there's actually a lot of SRH, which that's it's a little concerning. I think this will be a potential tornadic event, honestly. I'm not even going to lie with y'all. See, STP even does show values in the tornado realm of potential. Once again, just taking just the normal ingredients and kind of throwing them together there. But yeah, no, it's between the winds, like I said, because we have some real strong winds there. We have some really strong winds over that pocket of instability for Thursday evening. Let me see if the SPC, did they mention anything of this here about issuing any, is it Thursday? So this will be for tomorrow. They do have that risk already there. Let's see here. Vertically stacked low. North Dakota will move into Ontario Thursday. Sure. Blah, blah. Let's see here. Cooling aloft will accompanied by a primary embedded wave moving from Central Plains towards Great Lakes. Let's see here. Kind of looking at there for it. Three thunderstorms most likely from Iowa to Wisconsin during ahead of this mid-level. For vorticity maximum, steeping lapse rates support lightning within developing arc precipitation. So they didn't really mention any big severe weather risks being issued in this case for tomorrow for those upper storms. But personally, like I said, it's not going to be anything massive. I mean, I think honestly though, I think we will grab at least a marginal for that event here. I mean, more than likely. I mean, just considering the ingredients that's available here between a barrage of models. I mean, like I said, it's not a lot of instability, but I think it's definitely way more than enough to actually get things to start popping off here. And on top of that, like I was saying, here's another model showing the same thing. But also the winds on it, dude. Yeah, those lower mid-level winds, they're very strong, in which they will definitely allow for storms to organize pretty well. And like we were looking out there with the relative helicity, 0 to 3 kilometers. There's some pretty strong helicity values out there. Which, if things continue to trend here, and if we start to really see this come together, like in real time, I really wouldn't be surprised if we have the tornado threat tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So we're going to pick a few soundings, yeah. So there you go. So obviously we have a hooking photograph, which is showing the winds change winds. Like I said, obviously it shows the winds changing directions and speed as you go up in altitude. So, for example, this box this is called a skew T. This is like skew T blocks we call, and this is what we call a photograph. Two are the most important things when forecasting. They're pretty important things here. But anyways, so that is what's going on there. So this is basically the surface. This is ground level. This is middle atmosphere up here, and this is way in the upper atmosphere, almost past the stratosphere, obviously. But yeah, so it's definitely really important to look at. Therefore, but yeah. So here's your wind column, and this is just basically plotting how fast your wind speeds are, what direction your wind speeds are. Wind direction is, and what the altitude is. So, for example, look at this. So you see the pink over here? See the pink? You see the red, the green? Notice how the bottom goes pink, red, then green? So this is going up in altitude as we go up in this marker. So you can kind of see what level of where the winds are. And this is basically a big compass. I mean, if you look north, south, east and west out here. There's 10, 20, 30, 40. So these are in knots, by the way. So you can see here, for example, right between the pink and the red, which is right around 1 kilometer. You can't see that, but this is right around 1 kilometer, which is right in here, right in this region here, right at that zone, which is also right here on the graph. And you can see how we're right around 55 knots, around 55 knots. You can see the wind direction. It always goes from the center to that dot. So in this case, it'd be going to the northeast here, which if we were to look, if I was to remove that, look at this, the little wind barbs pointing to the northeast. So that's northeasterly winds. Anyways, Moon River says you're definitely teaching this 85-year-old young. Love it. See, grapple was the big one. Thank you. No problem. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what grapple is. It's I didn't for the longest time until I seen it in Virginia. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Talked to a buddy of mine who actually works at the National Weather Service out there in what was it? Southwest Virginia. What was it? Shoot. I forgot the place out there. Was it Roanoke? No, it's Blacksburg. Blacksburg. Yeah, I had a friend that works out at the NWS at the time. I haven't talked to him in a while, but a friend who worked at the NWS in Blacksburg, he showed me. He kind of showed me how it formed and stuff like that. So I got a little bit of an input on that, and I did a lot of extensive research after he sent me all that, and I figured out how it forms and all that stuff. But if you don't know what grapple is, it's a form of winter precipitation, which is kind of like hail and snow combined. It's like little hail circular pellets, and if you break it, it turns into like dry, really powdery snow that doesn't compact very well once you break it apart. It's really interesting type of precipitation. It's actually pretty rare too. It's pretty rare. I mean, obviously most of the time you see either sleet or snow. I mean, or freezing rain, obviously, but if the conditions are right, man, sometimes you can get grapple, which is, because considering I've only seen it like once, it's pretty rare. Pretty rare. Anyways, okay, so what's on the topic next? So we talked about the flooding, or potential of a lot of rainfall. If you're just tuning in for that, like I said, we were watching the models. Like I said, we're watching a bit of a flooding event here coming in for the 10th through the 13th. This will be popping off a bit of potential for, first of all, a lot of heavy rain, as you can see across the southeast here. Models are averaging right around 2-3 inches expectancy across, portions like Mississippi, Alabama, maybe Georgia, portions out there by like Tennessee and those regions. So that could be something to look out there for. Let me look at winds, actually. That's something I really didn't even think about. They're going to be pretty strong. I know across, the Central Plains, they're going to be gusting pretty hefty here, which is 30, 40 mile an hour wind gusts. But yeah, I think they're probably going to get, they're not supposed to be too bad as that system passes. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so they're not going to be too bad in the southeast here. See, it's like a frozen snowflakes, and it pops when I held it. Yeah, they're definitely really odd. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me that I don't know if I still have photos of it or not. But there was one time back when I lived up in Virginia. I mean, obviously I live in Florida now. There was a time back when I lived in Virginia that there was a visible snowflake. If you see a snowflake under the microscope, you can actually see it. There was one that was like huge. I mean, I'm talking like, it's really no reference to it, but it's like that big, and it had like the shapes and everything. It was unbelievable. Like I said, I have a photo of it somewhere. You wouldn't believe me unless I showed it to you, which I don't know what I did with it because it's been like probably 3 or 4 years. 21, I think, was whenever I got it. 21, 22. Or sorry, 20 to 21. Somewhere in that realm. Anyways, but yeah, no, we talked about winds. We talked about, obviously, flooding. We've talked about severe weather. Winter weather, like I said, that's kind of a new one, you guys. We're seeing a potential nor'easter here out of this event here. Let's take a look at that again here with you guys. Obviously, this is kind of one of my main growing concerns with this event, actually, is if this plays out, man. I mean, like I said, it's not that far out either. It's really not too far out. I mean, this is 100 and what? Let's see here. It starts to pop up on my end around about 130 hours out, which, I mean, it was well within reasonable forecasting range. I mean, this is for the 12th, which is 5 days away, which is, you know, I don't like to go too much further than 5 days unless I see serious support, but look at this. GFS shows us saying the worst, I think. This is the GFS model, shows a really big nor'easter, a huge snowstorm impacting the northeast here for the 13th. Actually starting here pretty much for the 12th, going through the 13th, and exiting should be gone by basically the morning of the 14th. So that's GFS. ECMWF, which is the the European model here. And this one kind of shows the same thing, actually. See, we track way down in time here, so you can see right around the 13th here. This one's more shallow, as you can tell. It has that low pressure system a little bit more further to the south. And has that snow a bit more also to the south. You know, not as heavy up in like New York State or anything like that. It's more of a coastal concern. But both models did talk about it, so keep that in mind. Now GDPS, this is a Canadian model, and what do you know? This one does show it as well, as you can see right here, showing a bit of snow rolling through. Icon, which is another model we used here. So far, 3 out of 3 models show it. Look at this, Icon. Well, what do you see? Another one. So models are in sync here. I mean, obviously, in terms of you know, whenever it comes to it here, models are in sync with the. Let's see here. Models are in sync with the idea of the snow happening, but like I said, obviously, exactly how much snow, who will 100% see snow, it's still unknown at this moment. We just know that there's a possibility for a bit of northeasterly snow. So we'll keep that one in mind. But anyways, Eddie, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Also, let's see here, Bora, you as well. I didn't see your thing 20 minutes ago, but thank you, Bora, and thank you, Eddie, for subscribing, guys. And I appreciate it. Like I said, I'll never ask you guys for really anything. The only thing I would say is if you want to, consider subscribing. That way you can stay up to date with the weather updates and live streams whenever crazy weather happens. We'll do coverages on all kinds of crazy weather. Just go back in our channel. You'll see how many crazy events we've covered, from hurricanes to snowstorms to, you know, obviously severe weather. We cover it all, y'all. And it's across the main 48, too, so if you're not specifically in these areas we're talking about right now, we cover the main U.S. So that's that. So, yeah, let's see. Love your classes. My favorite weather. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see here. How's Panama City? I don't see too many big issues for that. The only thing I'd be concerned about, or something I wouldn't be necessarily concerned, I'd just be aware, I should say, is probably a better word to say it. Aware about is that there's going to be the potential for a bit of rain. In this case, actually not a lot for you up at the Panhandle. You know, just could be a little bit of a rainstorm. Yeah, this is not going to be too bad for you, honestly. More look at it. Yeah, I mean, so you can see the main rain event's going to be mostly out there towards like Alabama, Mississippi, northern Georgia, maybe Tennessee, and some of those regions. It's like this is the blend of models, by the way. This is kind of like the average of the models, but could get a little bit of something out there in the Panhandle. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, like I said, the wind gusts on this storm here as well is not going to be really anything too significant either. I mean, 20 mile an hour wind gusts. Shoot, that's some crazy winds. Nah, it shouldn't be bad. Though the winds, though, on the one storm, as you guys can see here, for actually tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow as we get that storm system to roll through. I mean, we could get some definitely gusty winds, you know, 30s, maybe 40s mile per hour wind gusts that could be happening. So, you know, that's kind of what it looks like. Let's see your cloud cover. I don't think we've ever looked at cloud cover on this channel before. We've been doing this for like years, and I don't think we've ever seen like cloud cover on the channel. I mean, maybe once or twice, but I don't really remember. So the blue is representing clouds, by the way, guys. Just letting you know, the white, you'd think it'd be the opposite. I don't know why they decided to go with blue being clouds and white being not clouds. Whenever the sky, when there's not clouds, is blue, and whenever there is clouds, it's white. They literally reverse the colors, which is kind of weird. But in this case, the southeast can be pretty much pretty much sunny all day. It looks like a lot of the west, obviously, and portions of the central plains is going to be getting pretty, obviously, pretty cloudy overall. This is the blend of models, too, by the way. So, yeah, and you can see as we approach our way here for, like, mid-February, as we were talking about, you notice how there's a lot of white across the country. That's actually not clouds. That's actually clearing conditions. So essentially what's happening here is as we approach mid-February, it seems like the models are talking about this here being a possibility. So after that potential nor'easter snowstorm we're talking about here, you know, whenever it comes to it here overall, you know, you can actually see basically how we're going to have high pressure out there, which is going to lead to, you know, calm conditions and not a whole lot. Yeah, look, cloud cover total percentage. Let's see here. This is near low in percent, so 3% cloud cover. That's not much. You go in the blue, 80% cloud cover. Let's see here. What is that for real? Like, what's the thought process? I don't know, man. You know, I really don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. Talk to the developers about that, or the people who put in the. Actually, it should really be the site, because I think other here. Let's see here. Yeah, because I think other sites use different. I guess that would be what? Maybe. Yeah, look at that. So this one's okay. This one's actually somewhat logical. So you can see how this one, for the model, it has the white actually being clouds this time, showing 100% cloud cover, and you know, the black, which is just a background color, is at 0%. So yeah, now that one makes more sense. That makes much more sense. It's gonna be clear across southeast, like we were talking about here today, for the most part. Yeah, all today, really. If you live out there in the eastern side, like North, South Dakota, Georgia, Florida, it's going to be pretty clear today. I'm moving from New Hampshire to Oklahoma on Sunday. Gotcha. Hope the weather will be good. We're driving. Praying for good weather. Well, obviously, like I said, good luck on your travels, my friend. I moved recently, about 5 months ago, from Kentucky to Florida. That was a very long drive, and I think yours is much longer. Yeah, especially being up in New Hampshire to Oklahoma. Yeah, without a doubt, much longer. Yours is like 2 times the amount of traveling mine was. Holy cow. Maybe even a little more. Yeah, so mine was about like 18 hours from the time I got in the car to the time I stepped out of the car. It was about an 18-hour drive. That's with stopping, obviously, you know, getting out of the car and, you know, going in gas stations and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, that was a brutal drive. And we did it all in one night, too. Did it all in one night. Let's see here. See, thank you. Just 25 hours. Wow. Yeah. Definitely be careful, you know. As you probably know, there's a lot of idiots on the road, so just be extra careful. So, you know, because you cover a long distance like that, you know, you're probably going to run into a couple bad drivers on the way. Let's hope not. Obviously, I hope not. But, yeah, wish best of luck to you. And I hope that you enjoy Oklahoma. I can guarantee you, I can tell you this, it's a big change. Big change. I mean, up there in the Northeast here, you get a lot of snowstorms, you get a lot of cold air. Oklahoma, you get a lot of crazy weather, severe weather. So you're going to start to need looking out there for, like, severe thunderstorms and stuff like that, because Oklahoma gets a lot of severe weather, as you could probably know. Heading to Africa this week. Wow. What's the weather like in Uganda? I don't know. Like I said, oh, just kidding. You don't have to look at it. Okay. Thank you. You saved me. Honestly, though, like I said, I mean, the models that I use, the programs that I use, it doesn't go out that way. I mean, there is some models like the GFS, which is a global forecasting system. But obviously, like I was saying, you know, it's obviously not good to look at, you know, obviously not good to look at just one model. You said Uganda, right? I don't even know where Uganda is. I know it's pretty bad. I'm sorry. I'm not good with geography except for U.S. mainland, like states and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, that's like the only geography I'm really good at. Let me look up Uganda. Let's see here. I've heard of it many times. I've heard of Uganda many times. Let me look and see. Is that West? No, it's definitely not West Africa. I'm pretty sure. Where is Uganda? I'm not finding. Not finding. Is that by? Wait a minute. Oh. Is that like East Central? East Central Africa? There's Southern Africa here. Let's see. It's Uganda. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to tell. I mean, obviously we can look here. Middle of the continent. Heading up there on a mission trip. Oh, gotcha. Cool. Have a good time. Be careful. Yeah, I mean, there's no like massive cyclone or anything like that in the forecast here. It does look like a bit of rain out there towards the central side in terms of showers, but like I said, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Forecasting out here, I just don't have the equipment as much as I do here in the U.S. I mean, a lot of the programs I use were programmed for you know, for the United States and not for Africa. But you know, like I said, there is a lot of or some models, I should say. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's some models that do work their way out in this region that I can look at. But you know, at this point, accuracy is much lower than the United States, because you got to think. In the U.S., we have all kinds of sensors, like weather sensors, like, you know, weather stations and airplanes, and I mean, obviously Africa has airplanes too. But we have a lot, like a lot more weather equipment in the United States, which gathers a lot more weather data from America and plugs it into the model. So it makes America's version a bit more accurate than it does like Africa, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It's in Central Africa. Is it? So it's somewhere up in this region here, I'm pretty sure, from what I can see on the map. It's kind of hard to tell by all those ISO bars that we have on the screen, but that's okay. Anyways, but yeah, we did do a forecast for Australia one time too. They had a bit of a crazy cyclone that impacted Western Australia a little bit ago. Yeah, that was a good little bit ago. But anyways, let's see here. We're moving from Kentucky to Florida here in the next few months, says Elizabeth. You are literally doing the same thing I did. I moved from Kentucky to Florida 5 months ago. Moved from Louisville. I'm a little further south of Orlando. Just east of Tampa is where I'm at. I'm not going to give my exact location. Yes, here's my address. Write it down. No, but, oh, dude, that was a brutal drive, man. That was, 18 hours. I think on the road part was about, like, probably 15 hours out of it. Believe it or not, going through Georgia, Atlanta, you go through Atlanta on I-75. Yeah, that was fun. But actually, I've done the trip from Kentucky to Florida like 5 times, or going through 5 times, not 5 different trips. There were 3 different trips. So wait, yeah, so 5 times, because I went down once, up once, down once again, up once again, and then down. That's where I'm at right now. Atlanta was terrible. Atlanta was a terrible place to go through. There was so much traffic. It was a nightmare. I'm just warning you if you haven't done it before. But the time I went, whenever I came down this time, it was a breeze. Actually, it was really not bad. Going through Atlanta last time. I'm thankful for that. Hopefully it's the same for you, my friend. And like I said, good luck with your moving there, Elizabeth. It's yeah. Also, same thing to Abrat. Let's see here. I've lived there before. Okay, good. So at least you know what to expect now, Abrat. Gotcha. Yeah, because I was about to say, if you're moving from up there in the New Hampshire going to Oklahoma, that's like a total culture difference. Not just culture, but like weather. It's just so different. Let's see. We live outside Louisville. And we're looking for around the Orlando area. Go to Florida every year for summer vacation. My husband's job relocating to Florida. Oh, gotcha. We live outside of Louisville. Okay. I know this is getting a little specific here, but I don't really care if you know where I used to live. I used to live in a town called LaGrange, which is in Oldham County, Kentucky. I don't live there anymore. I didn't live there too long. I only lived there for like a year. it's one county north of Louisville, which so I don't know if you're out there near me. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm at now, obviously. Well, I guess I can. I'm out there in Lakeland, which is a big city, so that's why I'm fine with saying it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know if there's any close spots to where you're going there. The weather's always changing here. Oh yeah, well, Catman, I mean, you know, because you live in Oklahoma, so. You know, I just realized, yeah, Catman, since you live in Oklahoma, that Norman job you were talking about, you're close to it. I just realized that. I didn't really put those puzzle pieces together until now, thinking that you were obviously closer than I thought you were. But yeah, best of luck to you, man. All right, I tell you what, let's go and hop to current radar view. We didn't really talk about current weather. We just talked about a lot of current stuff going on here, or future stuff. So here's radar. Give it a second to load. It's going to take a small second to load here. Here we go. Okay. So here's current weather. This is current radar view overlay in the U.S. I'm actually going to turn off the. There we go. You can kind of see like the black overview. You can see the radar a lot easier here. So yeah, I mean, as you can see right now, we do have ourselves a lot of snow, as we were talking about. A lot of snow across some of those upper elevations here. It's going to continue for the next day or so, or next couple of days potentially. Obviously, we're getting some more rain coming in from northern portions of California. Still seeing a bit of showers out there by portions like California. We obviously have like New Mexico. We're getting a bit, obviously, with a bit of rainfall potential, or a little bit of rain falling out there by like central U.S. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll do about like here. I'll just show you this view instead. This one's a little bit better. Oh, of course, whenever I change it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So this is kind of more of like the current weather right now, as you can see. Current radar view, and you can see with the pressure overlays and stuff like that. Like I said, we have ourselves a big block here of high pressure right across the east, which is allowing for a lot of these areas to be relatively calm, relatively good. And of course, we have ourselves a little bit of a low out here in those upper elevations, and that's all that moisture you guys see right here, right now. Like I said, this is all the current moisture, all the rain that we're seeing right now. This is actually going to be dragged up here to the northeast tonight into tomorrow. So that's what's going on there. So that's going to be kicking its way up here to the northeast. Now that's going to be causing a bit of snow for southern Canada, portions of by North South Dakota, and like I said, opening that small window potential, opening that window out there for the potential of some potentially severe weather out there in some of these regions here. So we'll have to keep it out there for that. That'll be happening tomorrow night. For the potential of severe weather out in some of those areas there. So we'll obviously be on the lookout. Good morning, Alice. Hope you are doing good. Glad to have you here. All right, let's pull up sat view. See what we got going on here. I'm gonna pull up geo color. Let me clear. Yeah, I gotta clear the map real quickly, guys. It's older data. It's gonna take a second. Oh, my program's not liking me right now. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Eastern. Oh, really? Come on, man. Just cut me out. RGB, geocolor. Here we go. Alright, y'all about to see some pretty stuff since obviously the sunrise is ongoing. Or it's already obviously came up here in the eastern side. There you go. What? Is Ghost Data having hard times right now keeping up? Oh, man. Well, this was yesterday's sunset. So, I mean, that's kind of old data there, but yeah, that's what sunset looks like. Pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of clouds, you can see in the white, and the east was pretty calm. Anyways. But yeah, y'all, I feel like we touched up on most of what we need to. Honestly, I think I'm going to make a video today. I think I'm going to work on a video right now, actually. It'll probably be out sometime noonish. Yeah, probably like early noon. So, or early afternoon, I should say. So I'll probably have a video out there right around like 1 to 3 p.m., I'm thinking. 1 to 3 p.m. Because for making like a 5-minute video, guys, it takes me like hours, believe it or not. It takes a long time. I'm going to try to shoot for a quick but informative update. So I'm going to try to make a pretty lengthy, I wouldn't call it too long of a video, but, you know, a pretty lengthy video describing a lot of things, what we talked about, and all that stuff. So let's see here. Is that satellite photo of Earth? No, it's a satellite view of Mars. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Earth. Sorry. No meaning to be disrespectful, Andrew. I'm sorry. I'm just an idiot, so please forgive me. No, but no, this is, yeah, it's Earth. It's pretty cool. This is actually coming from a satellite we call GOES. NASA, in collaboration with NOAA, has launched, we call it GOES program, which has started all the way back in the 70s, I think, starting with GOES 1. This is GOES 16. So, a little bit of history, and a little off topic before I head off here. I want to show you something pretty cool. Stick around if you want to, but it's a bit off topic here. It's obviously not. And so if you want to do weather updates, guys, just rewind to the beginning of the live stream because we talked all about it. But what I want to show you is kind of, like I said, obviously off topic here. Let me go up here. Okay. So when it comes to it here, overall, so obviously we have, this is going to be a very, very, very rough drawing, obviously. Let's see. Okay, Florida, we got the Gulf. You kind of, oh shoot, I should probably, hold on. This is terrible. Hold on. Hold up. It's very, very, very bad. Hold on. I need to make this a little bit bigger. Let's like make it that big. Okay. So let's try that again. Okay, so let's say we had the United States. So there's the East Coast. Florida goes down like this. Yeah, very bad drawing of Florida. You got the, okay, so there's, okay, that's reasonable. Oh, reasonable. I still made it too big though. My God. All right, you know what? Hold a minute. All right, I'm gonna make this a lot smaller. So we'll make it like this. So we go down. Florida. This is much better. Much better. Okay, so there's the Gulf. How does the West Coast go? Something like this. Ignore it. Of course, it goes like that. So, okay, very rough demonstration of how the United States looks like, right? So, like I was saying, there's a GOES program, which is a series of weather satellites, I believe, that started in either the 60s or the 70s. Pretty sure it's the 70s, actually. So there's two main satellites, and they're in what we call geostationary orbit, meaning that the satellite is always pointing at the Earth, and as the Earth rotates, it's at the same point. So it's like going around the same speed that the Earth is rotating. So it's keeping an eye on one area for forever, or for as long as it's in geostationary orbit. Anyways, so we have GOES 16, which is an older satellite. So GOES 16 basically is on the eastern side, out there by the Atlantic, looking at the eastern United States. Actually, it can cover the whole United States. You know, the cutoff point of GOES East is, you know, right in here. So I mean, it covers the main country here overall in the Atlantic. And then there's something we call GOES West, or GOES 17, which is on the west-hand side. But GOES 17 had an issue. I might make a video on this, actually. It's maybe a little short or something. GOES 17 had an issue, and GOES 17's problem, it had something on the equipment overheated, which was obviously the mission after GOES 16 that monitors the east. This one's GOES 17, which monitors the west. It had a bit of an issue. NASA had to make another satellite, which is GOES 18. They launched that, so now the east has GOES 16, and the west has GOES 18. 17 still available, but you know, it's having some technical problems, and they just need the whole new satellite, so they launched GOES 18. Anyways, yeah, a bit of a very, very, very bad way of describing things. But yeah, hopefully you hopefully you got that. But anyways, guys. All right, well, yeah, we're going to head off here, y'all. I got to go make a video. I'll probably make a GOES... Should I make a GOES short? That'd be pretty cool. All right, well, I'll put that on the video list here of some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so we're going to head off here for now, guys. Once again, thanks for joining, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Y'all have a great day at work, great day at school. If you're just hanging out, have a great day at what you're doing. you're going out doing some errands and stuff, y'all have a great, wonderful day. We'll be live again tonight, more than likely. Probably later, probably like 8. Sorry, probably like 9 or 10 p.m. tonight. So it's gonna be a little later. So that's that. Oh gosh, Aiden made a clip for me. Thank you, Aiden. Appreciate it. But yeah, we'll be live again later tonight. Like I said, expect a video to come out some point early afternoon too. I'm gonna do a little bit of an update with you guys on what's going on there and all that stuff. But all right, y'all. Well, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, we'll catch y'all later on. So if you guys obviously did enjoy this, consider leaving a like, and if you have not already, consider subscribing and check out our merch page, guys. We got some pretty cool merchandise. So let me go ahead and put the merch link in there if Aiden doesn't beat me to it, which he very well could, because it's going to take me a few seconds to get here. So I better hurry to it. Oh my gosh, hold on. There's ads. Ignore the ads. Okay, right here. Okay, so that right there is our merchandise if you guys want to check it out. We got some pretty cool stuff out there. And all right, guys. Well, y'all take care. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And we'll catch you guys later on today with a video and a live stream for tonight. All right, guys. Stream's heading off here in approximately 2 minutes. So go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat, my friends. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later on. Peace out, my friends. Much love to you. And we'll catch you later. Peace out, my friends. All right, hold on. I already said that. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I just had a moment. All right, so y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Catch you guys later on. Peace out, my friends.
The forecast for the Los Angeles County coast, including downtown Los Angeles, today, mostly cloudy in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs around 60. Southeast winds around 15 miles an hour, increasing to west 20 to 30 miles an hour in the afternoon. Tonight, showers in the evening, then a chance of showers after midnight. Lows in the mid to upper 40s. West winds 15 to 25 miles an hour. Thursday, partly cloudy in the morning, then sunny. Highs around 60. West winds 15 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Thursday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the mid-40s. West winds around 15 miles an hour in the evening. Friday, partly cloudy in the morning, then sunny. Highs around 60. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 40s. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the lower 60s. Saturday night, clear. Lows in the mid-40s. Sunday, sunny. Highs in the mid-60s. Sunday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-40s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the mid-60s. Monday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-40s. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. At 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, on Wednesday, February 7th, these were the conditions around Southern California. At downtown Los Angeles, it was cloudy. The temperature was 48, and the relative humidity 93%. The wind was calm. The pressure was 29.85 inches and rising. At Los Angeles Airport, it was mostly cloudy. The temperature was 47.